it's Jen. I hope this video finds you well. I'm coming on today, so we're going to work on the outside covers of our little journals, or little junk journals. So this is the coloring book one. Okay, so as you notice, there's been a little bit of liftage. We're just going to take our little glue stick, go right there. Got a little bit of lifting right here. We'll be painting on these, so that's okay. It's just part of the... It's a little junky journal, so I mean it's... Alright. So, what I wanted to share, besides having to make these little items, is I went ahead and started the painting process on the other side. So let's take a look, shall we? Look, how fun. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna replicate this somewhat along the edges here, okay? So how fun is this? There is some lifting on the edges, so I think I may end up going back around and putting, usually you would take and, let me get a book page. You might take and do half on one side and half on the other so that you get that seal. I did not. Live and learn, right? Live and learn. It's all good. But I really like this. I thought this was fun. I wanted to do something different. And I'll share everything that I used when we work on the other side. So there's that. We're going to set this aside and let it dry for a few minutes. And we've got this one. This is our envelope journal. And just like with that one, I have already finished the inside decorating. Because I thought, well, I wanted to do this side, so then I'll share the process on this side. So we've got our little spots. And I still haven't cut the little slit open there. And of course, we've got our pieces to put down here as decorating, or decoration. And what I wanted to do, as you can see, I added some texture, a little bit of extra on these two, but I didn't on this one because I wanted to do this one with you so you could kind of see the process a little bit, okay? So, we'll go ahead and we will get started with the flip side of this. Okay, so this being on this side, this tells me this is the top, so we're gonna do it this way. And I've already done some gesso on this side. I did go ahead and prep that. And I use this from Hobby Lobby. It's the acrylic gesso, Master's Touch. Well, I'm over here making a hot mess already. You can see how this is going. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. Oh, paint does weird things, doesn't it? Alright. Oh, I'm struggling over here with getting this paint off of here. Okay. So, what I use for my base is the Dazzling Metallic. It's Deco Arts, and it's Champagne Gold. Or Champagne, I guess, depending on where you're purchasing. So, and I just thought this was a gorgeous color. And I love the metallics. Oh, I love the metallics. So, we're just going to do ourselves a little painty paint. And I'm just going to use this brush right here, the silicone, and just start to town. I just think this is gorgeous. So I hope everybody is doing well. I know everybody that has children are starting to do the or in the process of, or maybe you haven't started doing back to school shopping. I myself will be waiting a little bit. I've got other stuff going on. So sometimes we've got to wait for things. And while you're waiting, the best thing I have found is to craft. Personally, I find it relaxing. Even when things don't go the way I would like them to. Boy, I have to say, these silicone applicators really give a smooth, and I mean smooth, application to whatever project you're working on. I may have to try. Now I got one of the little Dollar Tree silicone makeup applicator brushes to hold the hot glue. But there may be a moment when I try using them this way with painting and mixed media and see how that goes. Because I, of course, am not super sure what kind of material per se this is made out of. I might be able to look it up. It's a number 2. Got this one, somebody, Hobby Lobbies or Michael, probably Michael's. I think it was Michael's. Was having a sale. So, all right. So there we've got our base, and so we did that on the other. See, you can even see I used one of those little brush applicators with the sticks on it. Which by the time I was done with this, it was poking through, it was disintegrating, it was pretty much awful. So you can see a piece of it there. Okay, so we've got that started. And so we're gonna use some StazOn ink, as this will help keep everything on, inky wise. And I'm going to use a couple different things. Okay, so first thing is this stencil. I got this in a pack a couple of years ago. I'm not sure of the brand. I want to say it was Recollections, but I can't swear to it. It was purchased at Michael's. And it came in a set, and it was like a coastal looking set. So you all may have, if you've been crafting for a while, you may have made that purchase yourself. So we're just gonna ink our little spongy up. I'll flip this over, and we're just gonna get some StazOn ink wherever we would like it to be. Again, not super concerned with where it goes because it's kind of random. Now, I know I'm decorating, let me see, okay. So I know I'm decorating this front piece right here with this. But I don't necessarily know that I'm going to put anything here or anything here. So I'm just going to go ahead and ink away. If we cover it up, we cover it up. It's no big deal. It's all about the layers. Love doing these. Really, I don't know if I would consider this necessarily a master board. It's very small. and it's pretty much the cover, so it may be more inclined to be called like the cover. So I always get I do apologize, I get my terminology mixed up when I'm doing these videos, and I go back later and I think, oh girl, that's not what you needed to say. So I apologize for that. I misspeak all the time. And I'm going to go a little bit more designish, a little bit more heavier because it is the outside cover, where this was the inside. So I kind of kept it a little bit lighter because I knew it was going to surface more as serve more as a background. So we've got that stencil utilized. I'm going to tuck it back there for the moment. So then I just took the old friend bubble wrap and made some spots like that. Super easy. It's always cool if you find things around the house, just pick up whatever and do that with it. You know, you can use anything to make your designs. Alright, so that's that one, and that's that one. So then, I had accidentally put this when it was wet on another piece of paper. So, it left some of the paper behind, but I was really intrigued by it. So what I did is I went ahead and took said paper, as you can see, this is what it was, and I went ahead and tore some off and put it on here anyway, and then took the gold paper over that, or gold paint, the champagne colored paint over that. So, and what I did is I used a little gesso for that. So, I just took a little bit of that, put it there, and there, here, 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 and here. Okay. So remember, you don't have to be specific. This is play. This is doing something fun. Alright? And then I'm just going to take little bits and attach it. And we'll go over that again with a little bit of the paint. Putting that, layering it in. Oops. Sometimes it will do what it wants. We let it, because it's just part of the process. This is something where you just relax and let it happen. I find for myself that works the best way. Kind of like your art journal glue book type scenario, maybe, where you're just letting the process go and let it be what it wants to be. Okay, so we've got that. Oh. Alright, so let's get our best friend baby wipe. I picked these kind up at the General Dollar. They have them on in their dollar section there. So do a little wipe, get that off of there a little bit. Alright, so we'll set this aside. Alright, so we kind of need to let that dry a little bit, and it won't take long. It really won't. So what we're going to do while we let this dry is we are going to work on these pieces. All right. So very similar, we're gonna pull our stencil out. We're gonna get our little makeup sponge. We're gonna knock stuff off into the floor. And we're just gonna add. Just gonna add. Because this kinda, you know, this looks like something you might find tucked away in an attic somewhere. I love the vibe of this, just so cool. So I did take a little bit of the paint. I'm just gonna put a little bit there and just kind of, if you are afraid of getting your hands messy, this might not be the craft for you, but that's what these are for. You know, just take the other end, dip it, rub it. If you don't want to get icky or gluey or painty fingers, it's all good. All right, so then we use this stamp. Okay, so this stamp is an old stamp. It's a Recollections. Apologize for any glare. It's this one. So this one right here, I don't know what, this one's around the house somewhere. I'll figure it out eventually. And then there's these two. But I just kind of wanted, oh, and this is from 2010. So, what, 12 years old? Yeah. No, 11 years old. So, okay, so I just wanted to add bits and pieces of it. So, we're just gonna take, ink it up. I'm not even using an acrylic block. I do like the little face to show, so there she is. A little bit of this, a little bit of this here, a little bit there. Just subtle little hints of it. I don't want a whole lot going on there. So that's pretty much all I did to these. Okay. So we'll, oh, a little bit of the bubble wrap. So, and that'll be our cover. I'd already inked on the sides with the brown. I'm debating. I may go back with the black one, black soot, and go back around these. I'm trying to think if it's going to be too much of a contrast. I don't know. We'll see. But I may want it to contrast, so we'll see. But it's already been distressed on the edges with Vintage Photo. Okay. So now we'll just go ahead and do the same process on this one. And you know, quite honestly, you can do them in whatever way you want, per se. When kind of doing this, adding the stamps. Now, if you're wanting to add the gesso, that you kind of got to do first. And like, if I wanted to, there is clear gesso. So I could do a coat of clear if I wanted to do that, but I'm not. And I might do that on a project that was supposed to stand the test of time. This is not. This isn't what I'm looking at this for. This is more of like something for a season. You know, just as like shopping list, Christmas card list. You know, I'm not super worried about the longevity of it. Alright, I already did that. Okay, so now we just got to do the stamp. And again, not using a block. I'm lazy that way. That's the way it's going to go. Just going to use the third, second generation stamping in the middle to keep it light. So your first generation stamp is the first imprint that you make. Then this would be your second, your third, your fourth type thing. So there you go. I believe that's the correct terminology. If it's not, let me know. Alright, so there's that. So we've completed our final third one for the interior. We've done our one for the front. You can catch that kind of sparkle here and there a little bit. So we've got those completed. We'll set those aside. So now we're going to bring this back down. This is pretty much dried. You could use a heat tool to dry stuff faster if you wanted to, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm filming on my phone, so I'm not super sure if, see, look at the way that kind of picks up. And I may do, I'm also thinking about taking a little bit of like a nail file and filing that a little bit so that it gets kind of that grungy look. I thought that would be a pretty cool idea. And of course, I use little bits of paint because I don't like to waste, and it'll never fail. If you're doing a project, you get close to the bottom, or you find out they're not making that color anymore, or it's out at the store. So I have a tendency to use a little bit, but one of the ways I like to preserve my paint. Okay, so this is an envelope that I may use as a closure or cut up and use in this. So what I'll do is, if I've got a little extra, I'll use something like this, or here's a book page, and I'll go through and I'll clean it up this way. So then I get that yummy extra goodness, and it's an extra thing. So by the time you're done working on a project, you may have a couple extra of these with different bits on them. So then you could, you know, take them further, add a little bit more, or just use them, you know, as a pocket. You could take it in half, use it as a pocket to stick stuff down in, side pocket. So always, you know, if you've got a little bit extra, keep a couple sheets. Make some great extra little bits when you're working on stuff. Most people that have done this do, but for those that may not have ever done this before, they might not know or think about it. And there's stuff, there's been times when I've been doing something and not thought about it and forgot and just thrown it away or something, and then fussed at myself because I was like, you could have used that. So what I'm going to do to take this and blend this in a little bit more is, I think I'm just going to take and add a little bit more. Oh, my sponge go. Get the right sponge here. To kind of give it some blend into the background. Okay. And take down this white a little bit that's still wanting to show through from the gesso. And we'll just take some of this. Right. Use our stamp. And as you can see, I don't even have, you know, you can do it sideways, upside down, because I'm not looking for seeing the actual image. I just want to add some texture to what we're doing. Alright, so then you've got this. Okay. So then I wanted to grunge it up a little further. I also wanted to add a little bit of red in here because there was, you know, there's some red in here. So I like mine to kind of color coordinate a little bit more. So if you don't, that's cool. If you like a super different contrast, that's cool. Look at me. I was gonna start on the inside. So I'm just gonna take and use the good old Pam from the Paper Outpost, she calls it the finger tool. So yeah. And just kind of blending it in because I want this settle. I just want it to blend a little bit. And I may even take this, get a little bit more paint, and go back over any of these areas that I feel like are too red. If they don't blend maybe like the way that I want them to. Okay. Well, heck, what am I doing? I might as well just continue with the finger tools, huh? See, this is a little bit too bright for me. Oh. I'm like, which spot am I going for? A little bit too bright there. A little bit too there. It's all about doing your layers and just kind of building. Sometimes you will get to a point when something pops up and you're like, oh, this is ugly. That's okay. Keep going. Because we almost always have that happen. Almost always. It will hit a stage of yuck. What did I just do? What kind of mud did I make? Throw a little gesso on and do a little stamping. You know, it just, you know, and at the end of the day, remember, it's paper. It's okay. Okay? So now, we're going to give that just a moment to dry. Just a moment. And get myself situated here. So, yeah. Okay. So then, we're going to take... Oh, I better put this back on. Did you all know you're supposed to keep this? I'm glad I kept it, because I might have been bad for just picking it up, throwing it away. We've got extra, so we're gonna pick that up. We're not letting it go to waste. If I need more later, I need more later. It's all right, but we're not letting that go to waste. You know, there may come a time when you can't find this color, want to do, you know, or can't get to the store. After the last year and a half, we've kind of experienced that quite a bit. So I'm just taking my blender tool, and I'm just gonna travel down the way here, grunge it up. Oh, but you know what I should do? I should probably do a little trim around some of these edges, even though I know I'm gonna be. We're gonna go ahead and, okay, this is the one that we're gonna cut, and we're just gonna take the teeny tiniest amount off. Super, 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 super skinny little piece. Okay. As you can see. So now, we've taken that off, so we've opened that envelope on the side. Alright. So now we have our spot. So we've got this pocket, and this pocket. Okay? So, I'm not really super worried about any more of the edges. So we'll go ahead and just highlight the fold. Don't forget, we're going to be putting our material, our coffee dyed material, which is around here behind me, but I can't reach it. And we're just going to give this a little. Just, you know, kind of grunge it up a little here and there. So, let's see, where are we at? Little piece. Okay, so there we go. Oops. there goes. Okay, so I should have named my channel the Klutzy Crafter. Okay. So here we are. Gotta fold in this way. Fold in that way. And now we're just gonna make our little signatures, decorate a little bit here, to sturdy it up. We're gonna glue these on, and I will do that off camera just to make, for the interest of time and making things go a little quicker. So, all right, so there you go. And you can always go back and touch something up if you need to. But this is the envelope journal. So, here I go. This is part of the hashtag Scrapdaworld Christmas. So I'm using the hashtag SDWXMAS. She is having a challenge. All you're doing is you're sharing your Christmas in July project. You add the hashtag, it enters you into the challenge. And you've still got time because today's the 30th. I think she's rolling till tomorrow, the 31st. But you may want to check out the video. I'll link below for that. So anyway, this is the end of this section. So I will come on a little bit later with another video. Thank you very much. I appreciate you watching. Remember, you have the chance to create your life your way every day. Thanks. Bye-bye.